Good morning and welcome back to PSA TV. This is a wake-up call segment. I'm Avalon Williams. We have on the phone with us anonymous caller who has reached out to us and also to Calvin Wayne to support the HIV children who came from the Cyril Ross home. He just wanted to speak with us to let us know, what is his input in this whole situation. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right, boy.
Yeah. So you have mentioned, you have contacted Calvin and myself to lend support to the HIV children. Could you just tell me, how and where you found out about this whole situation?
Well, Kelvin lives close to me. He's my neighbor. Very, 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 very nice neighbor.
Right.
And I also do HIV testing. We do family planning. And I myself normally just tell people on the street about food, about lunch and stuff like that. And he came to me, we talked about it, and we sat down with different ideas. So I told him that I would try to assist him as much as I can.
Right.
Where in terms of trying to get a place for the children, clothes for them, food for them. So that is what I'm working on presently right now. Now I have a lot of clothes, Mr. Kelvin has some clothes, Mr. Kelvin has food, we're trying to see what we can do. So what I was explaining to him, if we get a place for them to stay, with my salary, I surety that I will be able to help pay the rent for them.
That's very nice.
Alright? So we sat down, we spoke about it and stuff like that, and we're working on something. But we need help. We need help from all the foundation that could really help us. Because it's a very difficult task that we have to do right now, because remember it's children that have HIV and on the street that have nowhere to go.
Right.
And we want to really counsel them and mentor them. The only person presently right now they look up to is Mr. Kelvin. He's the only person that they look up to. Right? So as I say, I will do what I can afford to do on my part. So I don't know in what way I could do a little more, but I am willing to do a little more.
Have you all found any building or anything like that? Because I know Mr. Calvin mentioned somewhere in Maloney. Did you all, have you all found any sort of building? Have you spotted anything that you think you could reach out to persons to ask if you can rent it for these children?
It have a few buildings in Maloney that have apartments that is empty.
And these are HDC
buildings?
buildings?
Apparently right now we have a building in Building 16 that is, have about 3 apartments empty. But if we could get one of them, or the 3-bedroom apartment, at least that 3-bedroom apartment could hold at least 12 people.
Right.
Reason for that, each room could hold a double-decker, 2 double-deckers, each double-decker holding 2 people, so that's 4, 8, 12. If we get at least a 3-bedroom, we could get a dining table, we could get some chairs, a little TV, a fridge, a stove, and that's a big start.
Right.
And the rent is about $350 where I know I can cover that for them.
Okay.
And we could start off from that. Because different buildings will have apartments that we would not know all of them. But where we live, we have apartments that is empty and it would be really a great help if we could get one of the apartments to hold some of the people. Now, in the sense that we cannot put the guys, the young gentlemen, with the women. It has to have an apartment for girls and an apartment for the young men.
So have you reached out to HDC to inform them about these 3 vacant units at the Maloney?
Well, I know Mr. Kevin was dealing with that, but I of myself have not get around to get anything as yet because you know I'm working now. I will schedule, but I know Mr. Kevin was beaten. He was beaten the call out. He was really, really going after me. He went different places. He went ACT. Mr. Kevin was doing a lot. He was doing a lot, and I am hats off to Mr. Kelvin. He is doing a lot. So he's really trying to go to agency and trying to see what he can do, but I am backing him up 100%. Everything that he's doing. He's trying. And I know he has that ability about it. He's a father figure.
Yeah, I mean,
I must say that.
Calvin said, he's been asking for a lot of support from the government and he haven't gotten any responses as yet from anyone. You know, what is your take on the fact that these children are kicked out of the Cyril Ross home at the age of 18, which is by law, they should not be in the home over 18. Where do you think they should go after this? Should the government provide some sort of shelter for HIV victims after they are removed from the Cyril Ross home?
Yes, I think the government should put something in place for them. At the end of the day, they are Trinidadian, they are our children. They didn't ask for that sickness. They did not ask for that. Some of them born with it from parents.
Yeah.
At the age of 18, yes, we know they have to leave the home, but set them up in a way that's okay. They leave the home, but they have a place to call home.
Right.
Get a little job for them. Try and see if they can assist. Go just put them out of the home and they don't know where they're going. That don't make any sense. That don't make no sense at all. It's like you open a door and they're just sending a dog out and you don't know where it's going. And they are human. They are human. At the end of the day, they are human. They are Trinidadian. They are human. They are our people. They are children on the street. Okay? We can't just turn our back on them. We cannot do that. We just cannot do that. Some of them don't even know who is the parents.
Yeah.
It's just raising a home. It's just raising a home. You know what it is to don't know what is their parents and just raising a home at the end of the day? It's really, really heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking.
And you know, even
I
Mrs.
wish the government could really step in and do a little more. That's why I'm trying my best to see what I can do on my side, me and Mr. Kelvin. I am not giving up. I am saying to you that if they get somewhere, I will be able to assist them by paying the rent.
Okay.
Right? And if the government could really get something like, to help them get a little work, because they have strong ones, they have ones that could work, they have some that cannot work, they have some that could work. You understand? And yes, still the title would have come in handy. You know, like a social welfare, something would have been able to help them some way.
But I'm still waiting on a feedback from them.
Huh?
I'm still actually waiting on a feedback from social development because I've spoken to them last week and they had promised, to return my call, but nothing as yet. So maybe I will follow up with them this morning.
Okay. But let me tell you something too. These children that are taking the medication, you have to eat.
Yeah.
And you cannot take medication if you don't eat. Medication do not work on an empty stomach. Medication have side effects. All medication have side effects. It's not like, okay, you're taking Paradol tablets for a headache, or you're taking antibiotics. If you get an antibiotics, it takes time you feeling to this stuff. These are medications that you have to live on. The only time you should come off with the medication is if the doctor said it to come off it. Once you're viral high, you CD4, everything. But other than that, you have to take medication. So if you don't have food, and you don't have breakfast, and you don't have something to break that part of it, how could you take medication? If you are coming from, right?
Yeah, of course.
You need to have something to eat on a morning, lunch, and something in the night, because the medication you have to take twice a day. Twice a day. And this medication is very, very strong.
Have you
side effects.
Have you met with any of these children?
No, well, Mr. Kelvin told me about something that was happening Saturday, but I had to work. Right? But I met with two children already on the streets of my own that I knew that is HIV positive.
Right.
And I spoke to them. But the children that Mr. Kelvin would see about, he just go on a weekend, and then he goes during the week. But I just be working, and I'd be totally busy. I would have to miss one job, and I had to go to the next job. Right? So, as I say, either to sit, really go all out of the way. Mr. Kelvin goes all out of the way.
Yes.
So now I am on board with him. I am willing to help and assist, and I am backing him up 100%.
Thank you
because
so
he's doing
much.
a very, very good work.
Yes. I mean, I've also spoken with someone else, they have issues as well with the Cyril Ross, but I'm yet to, go into details, and maybe I will just call and bring them in to hear their side as well of what's happening at the Cyril Ross, because I'm not sure whether these kids were kicked out, but I know by law at the age of 18, you're not supposed to be at the home. So that is Calvin's biggest concern there, when they're out of the Cyril Ross home, where they're going to go. So I want to thank you so much for coming on board to assist Calvin. And I'll ask you for your closing comment this morning.
Okay then, thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have a closing comment?
Yes. My closing comment is I am praying sincerely every day that the government could step in these children's lands.
Yeah.
They are Trinidad and they are we, they are our people, they are our children. Not because we didn't make them, but they are our children. Put yourself in that position. How would you feel that not knowing your parents? Come from a home, out in the street, and everyone will wake up without having something to eat. Put yourself in that position. I am praying that the government is stepping. I am praying sincerely every day that the Lord could touch the government, that the government will be able to touch these children's hearts and open a way, some way for them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So, an anonymous caller. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you today?
To be honest, quite distressed as to what is happening in Tobago.
Right. I know we have spoken earlier this week and last week in terms of what's happening at the Scapa General Hospital, just to begin with.
Do you believe in tragedy stories, or do you believe in comedies? I think we have a little bit of both that is happening at the Scapa General Hospital. We still have a situation where the X-ray machine as well as the ultrasound machines that is definitely needed is in a state of disrepair. So clients have to wait for weeks, if not months, to get things done. And this is an essential part of our service.
Right.
In addition to this, the staff morale is exceedingly low. This has a lot to do with the lack of resources to work. And moreover, outstanding allowances as well as gratuity that has been unpaid.
How long has this gratuity been going? Because I know I released the story as well, and I've spoken to some staff there.
This dates back to, in some cases, as much as 4 gratuities that are outstanding for some folks. Usually they have generally 2-year contracts. So at the end of the 2 years, you get what is called a gratuity or performance pay. And this has been outstanding for a lot of them, which for me is quite comical. And I say that because that when you sign a contract, there's a start date and an end date.
Yes.
This is known to the Tobago Regional Health Authority. They know the format for payment. They know all the essentials. Yet, how can you have somebody do 4 contracts with you and you have outstanding gratuitous payment? This is insane.
I know the PSA have been representing you guys, and Mr. Duke has been over there earlier this year. Since then to now, has management made any changes at all?
Changes? This TRHA changes members on the board more so than they make changes. Effective changes to deal with their policy and the improvement in terms of service. What we have is a situation where we would have been promised in the month of March to have these payments made. If I'm correct, it is now 5 months and this gratuitous payment has not been made. I'm not sure if Massey Stores is still selling cars, but it seems as though we have 5 versions of March that is on the outline because it still has not been paid. And nobody is coming to see anything to you about what is going to be happening next.
Earlier this week and last week, I aired a story that came out of the Scapa General Hospital in terms of the equipment that they're using in the X-ray department. Could you just tell us, some of this stuff that is not in good condition?
Well, it's the X-ray machine itself that is the major thing. They're not able to develop all the films that they need to. They have to shut down for periods in order to do so. The CT scan machine was down for a while. I'm not exactly sure if it's totally back up yet. But like I said, if we're going to go to first world status and it's such like even just creeping out to get to it, these things are commonplace. Why it is that we always have a system where equipment goes down? Isn't there a plan? Isn't there a maintenance schedule or something of this sort? These are things that are second to none, commonplace.
I know.
You're not hearing this happening in Trinidad, are you?
No, I know. Tobago is part of Trinidad, and when we spoke, because we've been in contact a lot, you also informed us about the roads. There are bad roads. I mean, by the Calder Heart area and stuff like that.
Yes. Significantly, very, very close to the health center in Bacalet. That's the Scapa Health Center. There are 2 traffic lights, particularly one right at the health center itself. Patients who are trying to cross this highway, this Claude Royal highway, putting themselves at risk. Simply because the alarming bell, which indicates to drivers and pedestrians alike to cross the road, is non-functional.
Yes.
There's the same thing that is happening up at the other junction, right, which has an exceedingly high hump where drivers, apparently we don't pay road tax across here, so there's an exceedingly high bump in the road, and drivers have to negotiate around this.
Right. I know residents are talking about it and they're calling on Mr. Devines. Any sort of changes so far?
No, I would have passed that area as early as this morning, right on my way to the east side, and there's no end in sight in terms of this changing. Yes, we would have had a slight improvement on the highway, but this must go through all the way through. I mean, we are the country that has the pitch lake, so I would believe that there should be some resources that is available for the roads in Tobago to be fixed.
Right. I know. When I spoke with some of you all last week as well, you all spoke about the crime situation and felt as though you have been forgotten by the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith. I mean, in terms of crime, though, what is happening over there, though?
You see, what happens in Tobago is that the major crime is what is going to be reported on. But behind the scenes, there seems to be a syndicate of its own that is operating across here in Tobago. Much like in Trinidad, what we need is the Commissioner of Police to come across here. If Double G can clone himself and come across here to get the job done, we will be quite grateful.
So since he was admitted into office, he have never visited Tobagonians?
I'm not quite sure of that. I don't want to say yes or no. But what I'm saying is that what is happening on the ground in Trinidad in terms of the availability of police, the movement of the police in areas that are noted for things happening that are not in keeping with what how crime is supposed to be kept down and such like or gotten rid of. That is not happening here.
Right. It is alleged that there is a blue and pink room that is being refurbished at the old hospital. Are you aware of what's happening? Because I got wind of it earlier this week.
Apparently, this seems to be another one of those big plans from the Secretary of Health. I'm not sure who she would have discussed with. It's like the big new hospital that is supposed to take place in Roxborough. I'm not sure who she would have consulted with. And whether or not it is a good plan is again beyond the comprehension. My trouble is whether or not it has approval. Who would have approved it? Whether or not safety, occupational health and safety has visited this building, Town and Country Planning has visited this building and given approval for this to be done.
Right.
And more than that, where are the resources coming from to do this? It's basic things like gauze, like cotton, and paying all suppliers who evidently are not giving us the supplies that we need to do or different jobs. Where's the money coming from to fund it? That's the challenge that I have.
Would you say there's a collapse of Tobago healthcare?
Collapse is a nice statement or a nice word to use. It's like I said earlier, it's a travesty to go to our health systems and see that the morale of the nurses and other members of staff being low. We know mentally they are not able to perform the way that they would like to. And as a result, the system is broken. When you have persons who are willing to work leave their homes every day with the very intention of caring for the persons that need care, and they have to be saddled with old equipment, and more than that, burdened with policies that is not in keeping with what would help the said patients, then collapse is still a kind word.
Okay. I just also want to touch on the deepening division between the rank and the file of the PNM and Trinidad and Tobago, particularly Tobago though. How do you feel about that? I mean, you all have raised the issue with me, and, you know, I just wanted to get your take on it.
PNM seems to be between a rock and a hard place, the devil and the deep blue sea. You cannot see where there's a collaborative effort between the 10 persons that are there towards ensuring the people of Tobago get the delivery that they're supposed to. Quite frankly, the other two persons within the organization, that is the THA, this being Mr. Duke, Mr. Augustin, and by extension, Mr. Dr. Faith, they are the ones who are really pushing what Tobago needs. The division between the PNM rank and file is what is causing the majority of problems. I'm not even sure that they're well behind their leader, or the so-called leader, Mr. Kelvin Charles, because it seems more so that everything that is being done by the PNM-led administration in Tobago is being led more so by the Chief Secretary, called under the auspices of the name of the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley.
Some Tobagonians, you know, they have said that the Prime Minister, he came from Tobago, he's Tobagonian, and they have felt forgotten. They feel as though they're behind a rock. Do you feel the same way?
Behind a rock.
Yeah.
The gentleman visits Tobago. He visits. Whether or not he cares about Tobago and Tobagonians is left to be seen. In all essence, when he visits, or he decides to come for the goat race or whatever be the case, he fraternizes then. But what can we say that he has done in Tobago after 4 years? What can we say? Nothing.
Yeah. Under this PNM regime, have you seen any sort of improvement over at Tobago?
Absolutely none.
None.
Absolutely none. We had the debacle very, very early in their tenure regarding the transport system. After 4 years, we're still in the same monkey pants. Absolutely nothing. And if we cannot transport goods and services in between a small island of Trinidad and Tobago, then what else is there left to be said, to judge them by?
True. I want to ask you for a closing comment this morning.
Sure. It's essential that the government of the day understands that the average Tobagonian and the average citizen of Trinidad and Tobago is under stress. And this is a situation that they need to relieve almost immediately. Because come 2020, if nothing is done now, they will be asking a different question. Why are we where we are today?
Thank you so much. And, you know, I want to keep this relationship with you and, you know, always so where you can keep us abreast of what's happening in Tobago, because, you know, PSA has opened up this platform for everyone, not just, you know, PSA members. But, I mean, you're all a part of the country. I mean, you're Trinidad and Tobago. It's not divided. So I will always keep you, you know, close by so you can tell us what's happening in Tobago, because we do pay visits over there as much as we can. But thanks so much for taking this call with us here this morning.
You're welcome. Feel free at any point in time to contact me. I'll give you the necessary information.
Thank you so much, sir. Take care.
All right then. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.
You too. So that was an anonymous caller from Tobago. I mean, Tobagonians actually calling on the Prime Minister. You know, some of them they felt forgotten, lost, and, you know, he have sent a very strong message there this morning. And we will keep you informed of what's happening over at Tobago. And I want to thank him so much this morning for airing his view on what's happening over there.